There's some common missteps that biological parents make in their step family. The first one that immediately comes to mind is being paralyzed. I call it paralyzed parenting. And essentially, this is when guilt paralyzes you from responding to your kids. You feel bad enough about all that they've been through. Maybe it was even some of your choices and decisions in the past that's led to this complex life that they now have to live out. Maybe it wasn't your decision, somebody else's decision. Maybe it was death who decided that your family was going to change. It's a sorrow, it's a sadness, it's a guilt, sometimes it's a fear. What's going to happen to my kids? What if they don't get along with a step parent? What if all these new changes are not going to work out for them? They've already been through a lot. And it wells up in you, and when it's time to say no, you don't. And when it's time to draw a boundary and enforce a consequence, you don't. So many times step parents just agonize over this. We have conversations, Ron, we get on the same page about what we're going to do, and then my husband won't follow through. He's paralyzed. I get it. Your heart hurts for your kids, but you're not helping them by letting them get away with stuff. You're not helping them by going soft in your parenting. You're not fixing everything all in one fell swoop. You're just enforcing what needs to happen at the time. Yes, find your courage. Take a deep breath. Here's the thing I want you to hold on to. My kids are sad. My kids have been through a lot. Right, they have. Legitimately, that's valid. But allowing them to use that as a tool, add gas to the equation, guilt trips, anger, silent treatment, sadness, and now all of a sudden you're being manipulated by that, keeps them stuck in their sadness. Think about that. You're not helping them find their way through, you're empowering it. They're going to go deeper in that, not come out of it. You have to get unparalyzed. You have to take action. Another misstep that biological parents make is kind of reserving veto power. The biological parent says, yes, step parent, you can have a say until I don't like what you say, and then I'm vetoing that. They're my kids, not yours. It's that sort of language that says, I get to make ultimate decisions and I get to cut you out. And usually what this means is I'm unilaterally making choices and pushing you to the outside. This infuriates step parents, and it should, because you've said to them, you're my partner, and then you're acting like they're not. They're an outsider on day one. They're trying to become an insider in the family with your kids and relationships, and you're keeping them stuck on the outside. This is defeating to them and the entire family. It tells your kids you do not have to listen to the step parent. It defeats the step parent's authority with your children. You're making things harder in 100 ways, not better. You don't have veto power. I know they are your children, but you got married. You brought this person in, and they're your partner. Treat them as a partner. Another misstep that biological parents make is simply not trusting the step-parent's heart, their goodwill towards the child. It's unfortunate. Sometimes biological parents go, boy, I don't like the way you handled that situation with my child. And then they add to it, the reason you handled it that way is you don't like my kid. Now I'm judging your heart and your intent. Yes, there are some step-parents who need to be in jail, okay? Let's just acknowledge that. But that's not 99.9% of step-parents. They're responding in a certain way out of love, care, concern. You may not like how they responded. You can talk about that. You can change that. Don't judge their heart, because then you're going to be harsh no matter what they do. You're going to find some reason to not agree with it. The last mistake that biological parents make is simply not being primary parent. I see this sometimes with dads, biological dads, who maybe have struggled to parent, maybe haven't had a lot of time with their kids, maybe it's limited time, biological mom has most of the time. Then they get married, here's stepmom, at last, a mother for my children. And they just kind of abdicate their role. You still have to be primary. You can't just fade into the background as the biological parent. If you're abdicating, then the step parent feels like they've got to fill the gap, and that tends to create a lot of conflict. Not a good idea. Listen to these missteps, and if you're guilty of them, it's all right. Cut yourself a break and just go, yeah, that's me. And then work on them and start doing something different.